It's December 28th, 2024. Okay. Right before Christmas of 18, um, I had went down to John's church for the service, okay? And there was people in there, and some of the guys that were watching me, and they're talking about, they were complimenting me. She's amazing. And they're in there talking, okay? Well, somebody had said somebody was going to be leaving the country and wasn't going to be back for a while, and they were going to be traveling. Okay. All right. Well, new people have showed up and they act like they don't know what's going on. The Stark County Sheriff's worked my case, the U.S. Marshals, and the local police. Okay. And that FBI agent, the one that told on me before for calling the hotline before he talked to me, to Apostolic Church of Barberton, I told you, he confessed on a recorded line. He told on me, okay, and he was seen telling on me at Apostolic Church of Barberton that he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, didn't care, and he said strangest baby lie of faking you're sick and faking you got well when it was a medication error to cover up Tim and Katie, okay. Had to make up something to get rid of me real quick. Linda, my sister, was out following her husband. She was out one day and she seen him with Tim with Katie. And so when he'd leave, she'd follow him. Okay. She came up to me on, I think it was like a Wednesday night in 2003 in November, and said, I saw him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. I'm like, great. Thanks. Well, he made up that baby lie and got rid of me real quick. Okay. And that's when Strange made it up by that Sunday. Okay. I told you September 18th, 24. My car is bugged by the police and the FBI for the case. My client's neighbor up in Akron, there was a guy up there, 8:30 in the morning on a Wednesday. They were talking about that agent that opened my case. Boy, he needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. He said it was a medication error that made her sick before. And my client's neighbor's like, well, why did they wait 15 years to do it? He said, oh, I went over and talked to him. That Strange actually ordered her to be killed in '03. That when he thought she was following Tim and Katie, he ordered her to be killed. They were to try to have her killed. And that if it didn't work, they were to have her destroyed. They've been planning this since '03. He said, and they weren't supposed to say or do a word. Okay? Nothing. Do anything. Until Dave said he wanted a divorce and it took him 15 years to say it. That's why they waited 15 years. They were waiting for Dave to say it. Dave was help planning my death while he was making love to me, living our life together, raising our kids and then our grandkids, and living our life while he's planning my death with Nicole for 15 years. Okay? And that guy's saying, you tell everybody you know not to say a word to her. They were planning on this for 15 years before they did it. Okay? Now, we're going to get back to right before Christmas of 18 when they said that guy was going to leave the country. Today, I went up to North Canton, went through my bank. Okay? Some girls pulled behind me. He was out of the country. Is that why he didn't know all this? And they started laughing. He left Judge Pete in charge. There is no Judge Pete. They admitted they made up retired Judge Pete March 20th, 24 in Walmart 62. There is no Judge Pete. They made him up. They made up everything on her to get away with this. He knew he was a drug dealer. Don't give me that. Because they were drugging me for fake confessions, having me beat and raped. He knew he was a drug dealer. Don't give me that. They made up everything on her to get away with this. And they're laughing at Walmart 62. See, when I went to the Portage County Sheriff's, they didn't know who retired Judge Pete was. That Ravenna police didn't know who he was. Why? Because he's made up. And retired judges have no authority. And nobody drugs anybody but the cartel. And my ex referred to him as some guy named Pete. When people talk about him, heard him talk about him. He said he hired some guy named Pete. It's just some guy. He's a drug dealer. That's why it's being drugged. Told you, I heard people talk. Dad said he hired some guy named Pete. Not retired George Pete. Some guy. That's why when I talk to the Portage County Prosecutor's Office, they look confused too. Because it's just some guy. Like they made up Judge Paul sending out arrest warrants. There's no Judge Paul. Get it? He knew it was a drug dealer. He knew. Like they said, that agent knew better than to ever touch my case. With him knowing Pete, he knew better to ever touch my case. You cannot. That's where Officer Reinhardt Louisville, when they were claiming it was retired Judge Pete, okay, and that he was supposed to be friends with him. He said, for one thing, he said even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home before. It's illegal to look and listen. That agent had to agree to protect you and have statements of threat of life. And we'll put it this way, by law, he had to have a court order signed by a judge to be in my home. It's a right to privacy. Even the FBI would go to jail outside that protected custody case with statements. That agent had agreed to protect you and have statements of threat of life on everyone that lived in that home, that they knew that it was happening, or they'd go to jail. It's a Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. It's the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, because you also have the right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney, right to privacy. You can't take people's rights away. It's illegal monitoring. It's a felony invasion of privacy, and then we go into cyber stalking and sextortion. You guys got drug confessions, beating, raping me. That's racketeering. That's like 32 years in jail. That's how fast they were to be arrested for hiring Pete on his own. Hiring his own hitman to hurt me is 10 years. I got hurt. It's 20. Then they admitted to taping in the bathroom, kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty. They were life in federal. Get it? So that's where all the police, the prosecutor's office, criminal attorney, what these people did is illegal, and it's not admissible. People run around like, oh, we can do this. No, you can't. No, you can't. See, that's where even my neighbor said, you know, everything they did to you, it's so unbelievable. It's hard to believe anybody would fall for it. Exactly. You know, if you're incompetent and you're falling for a drug scam from the drug cartel, go get help. Last year, February and March of 24, okay, I was going to go out to eat with this one officer, okay, and some investigators were out at Belden Village, and they were laughing about some of the comments he had made to me. They thought he was showing off, okay, and they said, you know, if she ever moves away, we'll have to tell the local police the drug cartel is running scams on people. Like Officer Mark said, it's documented and verified as framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. Well, drug cartel. That's where the North Canton Jackson police officer, April 28th, 24, in Walmart on the Strip, showed up. Karen, we all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel, and it was a drug cartel in your home before. Got it. So that agent knew he was drug cartel. And him dating that Michelle that's part of the drug cartel, you know, he was so mad. Now, I had only talked to him on the phone. He was mean to me, confessed. He told on me before he talked to me on a recorded line that he had met with the churches and that family and bullies me and makes fun of me and then makes fun of me for some guy named Pete. Pete's cartel, some drug cartel guy's running a scam on me. He knew that. He knew the Fourth Amendment. He was to arrest them. And mocks me Okay? Well, December 18th, 24, he found out I hadn't even met Michelle before. Never even seen him before January or February 19th. He's so mad he comes into Walmart 62 and confesses, where he told Apostolic Church Barberton he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care. Then strangers like calling me a faker. And then if she was supposed to be mean to their women, he didn't care what they did to her, and he was going to turn her back over to them. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Well, that guy comes in when he found out. Is it true Karen didn't know about Michelle till January or February of 19? Yes, I made sure of it until she showed up and announced herself. She didn't know anything about her. She told me she threatened her. And if she was going to threaten her, I told him I didn't care what they did to her. That's what that agent said. It's like, oh my God, it's you. See, I've never met him. It's you. He just found out. Is he the one that left the country? Because by the 23rd, they showed up down at Carrollton at Speedway. Will found out that girl actually cheated on him. He said, no, this is funny. He's slow. He had to have been either out of the country or he's slow. Because John's kids on Thanksgiving of 18 said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. She had been around my one set of grandkids until they were calling her Auntie. I asked Dixie in 20 or 21, did you know about Michelle? She said, yeah, I knew about her because she makes you look repulsed. She walked into Fee Family Church, okay, in January or February 19th. Now, a bunch of teenage kids are coming in. They're loud. You turn around and look at them. Michelle is a normal name. Didn't think anything of it. And then she's like, I'm the one that actually dates Dave. Well, I turn around and look. And she's like, I'm the one that dates her husband. And points right at me. I'm like, oh my God, it's you. A girl that's not even 100 pounds. Plain Jane. Looks like a skink and a prostitute. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought it was Michelle Cowgill, a 50-year-old woman that was part of his religion. I'm like, oh my God, he's dating that? She looks like a prostitute. She probably has AIDS. And then she's like, I can have anybody drugged, beaten, raped. I just have to ask those guys. Because she's cartel. She's cartel. Okay? So then it's, what was that agent doing dating a prostitute cartel girl? He makes over $100,000. I don't care if you are 50, 60 years old. You go, shoot, when I was married, I knew people that were single and they were beautiful and successful and they would have went out with you just for your title. And you could have went to any religion and those women would have been throwing themselves at you. See, I knew a girl that was an RN nurse. She looked like a Greek goddess. Size 0. This one guy named Chris McGrew, he was single. She had all her nurses' friends come over to meet him, see if any of them liked him. Yeah, I could have called her for you. Could have called someone women would have lined up that were single to meet you just because of your title and your income. So what the hell were you demeaning yourself by going out with an 18-year-old skanky prostitute in the drug cartel? You needed to have more respect for yourself, former Agent Will. I could have fixed you up with somebody or known somebody who could have. That's where, I was so dumbfounded, like, oh my God, it's that? Oh my God, he's going out with that? Oh my God, she's crazy and dangerous too? It was like, like car wreck on top of car wreck. I just sat there dumbfounded. And her group was she even admitted they were taping in my bathroom. Her group was the ones that were admitting they were selling kiddie porn and my grandkids going potty. What on earth were you dating a child molester and a serial killer for? in the drug cartel, and you wouldn't think she cheated on you? Hmm? See, that's where I asked Dixie, did you know about Michelle? Yeah, I know about her because her attitude is so evil. And she thinks she's all that, and she's plain Jane. Okay? And I said, the young blonde girl? Yeah, I knew about her. I said, is Dave still dating her? He said, no, they broke up before Kathy. I said, but they were dating, yes. Hmm? So where my one set, John's kids, we're calling her auntie shop by Thanksgiving of 18 and publicly dating in front of them, then in front of Dixie and others. Where were you that you weren't seeing your girlfriend cheating? And that's where the whole thing of it is, where Henry Maffei's group, the ones with the big truck guys from Florida, and they were breaking, they were the ones getting the money. Where even last year in Bueller's North Maine, her Karen's Wool is going to be here today. Henry sent us down here to find out what's going on. We already got our money. Michelle was seen with the big truck guys that were telling people they were FBI at Faith Family Church, and then away from there, they were drug traders and human traffickers. Hey? That were known to be around the guy in the white van that was kidnapping people. And Henry's Maffei's group was seen around him. They're the ones bragging they got the money. The ones that are selling women and children. When they got away from church, they told people they were drug traders and human traffickers. That means serial killers. They sell women and children for sex slaves and to be murdered. This is a drug scam, like that guy said in like March or April when I went to have dinner with that one officer out of town. He said, and he had been calling up and saying stuff on the phone. The guy was laughing. I think he's showing off. Or he said, I'll tell you what, if she ever moves off, we're going to have to tell the local police the drug cartel is running scams on people. Where Officer Mark in August of 23 told a lady it's documented and verified she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in her home before. That's where in April 28th, 24, Walmart on the Strip, officer in uniform, Karen, we all nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. There was a drug cartel in your home before. So, does anybody want to? That's where when I went to Portage County Sheriff's, he said, I don't know of any Judge Pete, retired Judge Pete, or anything like that. Ravenna Police in the prosecutor's office looked confused. Oh, and an attorney up there, Cecily Mullins, had no idea, never heard of him. Why? Because he's made up. Got it? Women pulled in behind me. It is what's going on. That agent left the country for years. That's why you don't know what was going on. Left everything in charge to retire Judge Pete. There is none. He's a drug dealer. He can't turn an FBI case over to a drug dealer, you dumbass bitches. He was no longer with the FBI by around Christmas of 18. He wasn't with them anymore. Got it? He's a former agent. Men have been showing up, and they are trying to find out what's going on, and they are confused. Who's the newbies in the area? The photoshopping or showering, they already knew that. What? March 1st to 30, 21, they put the clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. They want you describing a showering. Ha, 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them admitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose. February or March of 22, told my client's neighbor in Navarre that Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. Admitted to framing me March 24th, 22, 1:30. Admitted to drugging me and telling me to say stuff since the first of the case. to May 25th, 21, 8/9/21. 1295 Fairlawn, December 9, 21, at the Oakland apartment, and the same day a white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. My case. Drugs told to say it. Knew everything was them. Just a bunch of men doing crimes here. To January 19, 22, Department of Disability, drugged and told to say it. February 2nd, 22, drugs and told to say it. To making fun of the FBI, June 7th, 23, FBI agent John fell for the stunt at Taser 4. Eric making fun of everybody, November 18, 22, that everything was him and not me, and done for the stunt for people to turn on me. To June 24th to July 4th of 21, 23, we'll take that one, 23. They went to a party, and they were live at the party how they made fools out of everyone. Let's see, to December 20th, 24, they said they were driving, and Bob Evans, they were driving around making fun of everyone, that they had nothing on me. How many times have they said that too? They had nothing on me. From March 13, 21, the only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself and simply wiping off water with clothes on. They didn't have anything else. You just brushed it off. Two, that's what they were making fun of people driving around. They fell for their stunt, and they're laughing at everybody for falling for it. That they actually have nothing on her. That she's never said she did anything wrong before. Dear God, they said that in 18, 19, 20, 21. We all know Karen's never said she did anything wrong before. And just brushing off water with clothes on is nothing. They have nothing on her. And simply wiping it off with clothes on. They told you in 19 you didn't expose yourself, you're good. To January 22, a ladies group came down. We came down to verify we made a big mistake being in our home. Karen's never said she did anything wrong before. And when she wiped off that water, she went straight down and didn't expose herself, as if anybody would care about that. And those people raped her. How many times? How many times, even teenagers? We all know Karen's never said she did anything wrong before. And they can't make anything out of that, just brushing off water with clothes on. Yeah, they were driving around laughing at him again, confessing they had nothing on me. They were talking about it in Bob Evans the other day. Even one of the men that watch her witnessed them admitting they had nothing on her. They made it up. That she's never said she did anything wrong before. I never talked to anybody before. Never had them in my home. How would you like to wake up with bruises and not know what happened to you? How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke, the room go dizzy and black? Wake up hours later, bruises all over you, throwing up, dizzy, heart racing, severely infected. Go to the doctor. What on earth is wrong with me? Wake up with injection marks and more. And it kept happening. I lost 18 pounds before the FBI, and to find out some ass had been drugging you up so you're so stoned you don't know what you're saying or doing and telling you to say stuff. Photoshop washing. Photoshopped all their lies. Made everything up on me. 18 they confessed in front of the cops. Laughed in my face how they framed me. I never seen or talked to anybody before the FBI. They even told you no man talked to her? No. They used Jersey on me instead. No, they used date rape drugs on me instead. It's illegal to drug somebody. I'm going to upload this. And that guy showing up yesterday, I already confronted her. Michelle was cheating. I told her it's not funny telling everybody that they're stealing for her. They said she goes up and grieves outside that house about this time every year because people got killed. I need to find out what's going on. He didn't know there was a big shooting night. So who the hell are these people? Dear God, in 21, they're complaining in Canton. They let that ass get away with murder. 19, Louisville, we all found the gunshot night. Right for Christmas 18. So who the hell are these people? that don't know anything? Good question.